Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to show you something really exciting. I'm going to start a movie and TV show journal because I spent a lot of time watching things and I thought this was the perfect thing to do now that the virus is going on and everyone is basically stuck at home, so we all have a lot more time to watch things, and I think that's something we need to do something more with than to just forget about it. I mean, in my opinion, because I was printing out these pictures of all the movies I've seen this year so far, and I was thinking, like, some of these movies are really bad, some of these movies are really good, and I just want to remember it. So my first plan was to just put it in my junk journal, but then I thought, like, okay, so I'll never be able to see what movies I watched unless I get that junk journal. So if I just start a new journal for all my movies and TV shows, I'll just keep adding to it every year, and when it's finished, I have a journal full with everything I've ever watched with my opinions about it. Of course, my opinions can change, but if they do, I can of course write about that. So my first thought was just to glue it in like this, like all next to each other. It is in order, so that's great. But I thought it would be better to just stick down a movie and then write my review, like just a few short words. I'm not a big fan of writing a whole story about it, so I'll just write down the movie, the name, maybe a rating. That could be fun if people just look through my journal. They don't have to read it, can just see my rating. And I thought it would be really fun to make a video about it, so I can give you some of my recommendations and some of my please don't watch this movie, it's garbage. Because some of these movies are garbage, and some of these movies I think you should really watch. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. This is a notebook from Mae. It was like, I don't remember, €3 or €2, I don't know. And I didn't have a purpose for it, and I feel like I should just use up my notebook. So that is what this one is. It's quite big, so I'm going to use it for a long time. But like I said, I also want to use it for TV shows, and I've not yet printed them out. I do watch a lot of TV shows. I watch more TV shows than films. But for now, I'm just going to use my paper cutter to cut all these movie posters, and I already love the look of it. And I'll be back to you.
Right there on top of the moon, we could sit and do nothing. I wish we were bold to just fly away. I don't wanna care, just be here and I'm good alone. I'll be okay, miss you like an old friend. Too scared now, thinking I should call up all night. I think it's hard how we always wait another day, how we watch things that can't just walk away. Let's live down by the water, watch it come and go home. I wish we were bold to like sail away. I just don't wanna care. Can you be here and I'm good alone? I'll be okay, miss you like an old friend. Too scared now, thinking I should call up all night.
Let's move on to the first movie, Rain Man. I gave it 4 stars. I wrote down funny, touching, and classic. I wrote down this because that's what it is. I've seen a lot of movies about people on the spectrum, but this is a very old movie, so this is probably one of the first movies about that, and I think that's really strong that someone decided to do that, even though mental health is way more of a taboo in this time period. And I loved it. I thought it was really funny and touching and just a good movie, so I gave it 4 stars. Then Came You is a Netflix movie. So what Netflix does is throw in big actors that people will like, and then you watch the movie. I literally can't remember anything about this movie. I do know that I knew all of the three big actors, and I knew that Asa Butterfield was going to kiss Nina Dobrev, and that shocked me. So I wanted to watch that movie. I really love Asa Butterfield. This movie, I don't know, I don't remember anything about it, so it can't be that good. So I gave it 3 stars. I I wrote down actors over story. That's my opinion. Moving on to Lolita, I gave it 4 stars. I wrote down dark, engaging, and real. This movie is free to watch on YouTube. I don't recommend this movie at all if you are very sensitive to the topic of like sexual soul or child. Anything. If you know anything about Lolita, you know whether you should watch it or not. If you're young, definitely don't watch it. I do really love the story of Lolita. I never know how to explain these things without it coming off wrong. I like things that are dark. I like things that are controversial. And besides the fact that I love this actress so much, she did such a good job. I just think that this movie is so powerful, and it's about things that actually happen in life. And I don't know. I give it 4 stars. I like it in a way. I did like it. It's disturbing, but I like it because it makes me think. I can think about this movie for hours, and her story is almost always in my mind. It's just, as a woman, I'm very sensitive to this topic, and I admire this movie for, I don't know. I still want to read the book. I don't know if I can handle it, but I want to do that. Moving on to All the Boys I've Loved Before, Part 2. P.S. I Still Love You. I gave it 2 stars. I wrote down I'm getting too old for this shit, and that's all I want to say about it. I mean, I get it if you're young and you like this movie, but for me, it was just like the message that a lot of people say, like, if you love your first guy enough, you wouldn't fall for the second. And I just hate that whole logic. Like, you can love multiple people. I'm not about this shit. I'm not about I don't know. I was not entertained. My boyfriend and I were watching it. We were cringing. We were constantly saying we're getting too old for this shit. And we probably are too old for it. So I know I didn't really enjoy it. I thought it was stupid. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. Moving on to Little Woman. I watched this. Oh my god, I wrote it down wrong. I'm so stupid. I was like, it's Little Women, not Little Woman. Why did I write it down like that? Okay, I'm sorry for that. Anyways, I saw Little Women in the cinemas, and I have never read the book. So I think if you read the book, this movie is amazing. But I do think that as a movie on itself, the story was not good enough executed. Sometimes things just seem way too weird, and Amy, one of the girls, was playing a kid. I later find out, but she's like in her 20s playing an 8-year-old. It doesn't make sense. I gave it 3.5 stars because it was heartwarming and it was beautiful, and I like the acting. I like the characters, but I do think that the movie needed either more time, or they needed to leave some stuff out to make the story more complete. So yeah, I wrote down a little rushed, but heartwarming nonetheless. Okay, moving on to the 6th movie, All the Bright Places. This one is on Netflix. I do like this movie. This girl goes through a lot of shit, and the whole movie you kind of feel like, I can't put spoilers in here. For me, it felt like this girl could have committed suicide at any point in this movie. And that, like, scared me a little. Like, oh my god, I don't know if she's going to kill herself or when. But this movie turned out to be hopeful, because I don't know if I can tell what I like about this movie without spoiling it. I'm just going to say that I thought this movie was going to be really sad, and it was, but it showed that things will get better, and I think that's a really good message for teenagers. And I think because it's on Netflix, a lot of teenagers are going to watch it. So I wrote down not brilliant but hopeful, and I gave it 3 stars. So the descriptions keep getting shorter, but okay, moving on to Call Me By Your Name. That movie is on Netflix as well. I have to say that I watched it in 2 times. I was kind of disturbed at times, but I definitely feel like this movie is going to grow on me because I don't know. I was just very shocked by some of the scenes. I was like, well, that's kind of disgusting. But, you know, I've already seen it, so I don't think it will disgust me as much the second time around. Although it's a very beautiful scenery. I love the gay storyline, of course. Let me just say, I loved stories about the gays. I also thought, like, the disturbing thing for me is also, like, their age gap. But, you know, I just talked about loving Lolita. But the thing is, nobody says that Lolita is supposed to be a romantic story. And with this is supposed to be super romantic, but it feels kind of odd to me. But it's still getting 4 stars because it's a beautiful film. And Timothée Chalamet is a very good actor. And I like the other guy as well. Sometimes I was like, I don't know about this. So that's just my opinion. I just wrote down a beautiful film. Moving on to Inception, I gave it 4 stars as well. Wrote down complicated but cool. Like, Inception is not my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. It just didn't do much with me afterwards. Not like some of the others, but it's still a good movie. Game Night, I gave it 2.5 stars because I didn't not like it, but it was not great. And I just wrote down, I just like Rachel McAdams because that's like my problem is I watch movies because I see an actor I like and I think, oh, this could be good, and then it's not. That happens a lot, but it's fine. Moving on to Marriage Story. I heard a lot about this movie and I heard that it's not a good idea to watch this with the person you are married to or you want to marry, so I was kind of nervous about it. So I told that to my boyfriend and he was like, okay, maybe you shouldn't watch it. And then at some point I said to him, like, you know, no movie can change our mind. So we watched it and we didn't feel at all like we could relate to it. Even though it's a very real story, it was very like you were watching someone's life. It was very good acting. It was a very good movie. But yeah, I didn't feel attacked or sad about marriage. I still wanted to marry after watching this movie. And I heard a lot of people say they didn't want to marry after seeing that movie. But it's not that bad. I mean, it's not that bad for your future. So I just wanted to add that. I just wrote down good acting, real story. I think this is a good movie. Not a happy movie, but it's a good movie. Ocean's 8, I gave it 3 stars. Wrote down enjoyable. Okay, so there are 2 positive things I want to say about this movie. 1, Sarah Paulson is in it. I watch everything with Sarah Paulson because I love her. Second thing is Rihanna. So damn beautiful. Keep forgetting it, and I see her, and I'm like, whoa, how can she be so pretty? Anyways, that being said, Ocean's 8 is just a movie about females being badass because you have all these other ocean movies with men. And when you do that, you just know that a lot of people, especially men, are going to look down on it. So when you do it, you need to make it so good that it's better or as good as the one with the man in it. And I haven't seen those. So I can't really compare the two, but I don't think this movie was like shocking. But also I have seen La Casa de Papel, so nothing really in that grand scheme of things is like jaw dropping to me, because La Casa de Papel just did it very well. So yeah, that was my opinion on that. Then we have Silver Linings Playbook. Gave it 3.5 stars. Wrote down interesting. I don't know, something about this movie I like because they are mentally ill. And as you can see, in my taste, I like mentally ill people because I relate to them. That's a very bad explanation. But yeah, that was a fine movie. It had its charming points. Yeah. It's also on Netflix, on Netflix, on Netflix, on Netflix. All of these movies are on Netflix. Moving on to the next 6 movies, we got Hubble's Moving Castle. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was my first Studio Ghibli movie I've ever seen, because I didn't grow up with that. But I did really like it, and it was very calming. I just, watching it made me feel calm, and I really enjoy how these movies make me feel. I do think that the story doesn't always make sense. I mean, I've only seen 2, but they didn't seem to make much sense. So, that's just my personal opinion, I guess. So after that, I watched Spirited Away. Also gave it 3.5 because I don't think the story was good enough to give it 4 stars, but I did really enjoy it. So that's it, 3.5. So I just wrote charming, beautiful imagery, and fun, cute, and pretty. Yeah, I liked both of them. And moving on, we got a Dutch movie, Jachter Wachter. I gave it 3 stars. I wrote down funny and nostalgic because I used to be an extra in their TV show, but like a lot. So, like 2 weeks in the summer, I just spent a lot of time with them and with other extras, and we had a lot of fun. And it was just really nice time. I really enjoy watching that show. For all the Dutchies watching, please let me know if you like the show and if you've seen the movie. Moving on to Lion, or Leon, I'm not sure. Gave it 3.5 stars because it is a sad and touching story, but it felt a little like one of those stories you've heard a million times. So it wasn't really like new to me, if that makes sense. And I watched it because he is from Skins. Moving on, we got Marrowbone, 3 stars. It's a horror movie. I liked it, kinda. It was not too scary. It was fine. I watched it for 2 reasons. I totally forgot his name, but Jonathan from Stranger Things is in here, and I think he's really cute. And also, it was a Spanish director. There was hope because I like Spanish shows. So I was expecting it to be Spanish, but it wasn't. So yeah, I don't know. I gave it 3 stars because I don't feel like a horror movie deserves a lot of stars unless it's like really good. I don't know. Then we got Mean Girls, and I gave Mean Girls 5 stars because I watch this movie every year. I love it so much. It's my favorite movie. It makes me laugh. It makes me feel good. Give it 5 stars because it's just top entertainment for me. Moving on to the next, we got Toy Story 4. I gave it 4 stars. Really funny, sentimental, and sad. I watched this with a friend of mine, and we just cracked up all the time because that Forky guy just keeps saying I'm trash. And it was so relatable that we were just laughing and laughing. It was an amazing time. Yeah. I also really like Bo Peep, so yeah. Love that. The Little Mermaid, I gave it 4.5 stars. I wrote down one of my favorite Disney movies. The music is just perfect. I just love The Little Mermaid. Then we got Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. This is actually the first time I've seen it, which is ridiculous, but I just never saw it as a kid. So I gave it 4 stars because Willy Wonka is a legend. Like, I kept screaming me throughout the entire film. Like, it was very relatable. And we got a young Norman Bates up there. Yeah, I really liked it. I wrote down funny, relatable, and iconic. Gave it 4 stars. Would definitely watch this again. I've beginning to totally love Johnny Depp. He's an INFP like me, and it just shows you can feel so connected to someone if you share the same personality type, I guess. So here we got Catch Me If You Can. I gave it 3.5 stars because it was good. It was a good movie. It's not like I think about it on a daily basis, you know? I'm such a... My critique is so weird. Yeah, okay. Then we got It's Kind of a Funny Story, and I gave this 3 stars for the reason that I already have seen this movie before, and I forgot that I seen it until halfway through the movie, which means the movie was not that memorable, which means it can get 4 stars. And also, I really hate the ending. I'm not gonna spoil it, but if you know the ending, I hate it. And yeah, I love Emma Roberts and Keir Gilchrist, so... Then we got Ice Age. I gave it 3 stars because I didn't feel like it was as good as some of these other movies, but yeah, I did think it was good, but just not my favorite Disney movie, I guess. Moving on to The Prestige. I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. My boyfriend actually got me into Christopher Nolan movies, and this one was one of my favorites. It was just very compelling and genius, and I really liked it. So, yeah, I wrote down thrilling and so good. Then we watched Interstellar. Also gave it 4 stars. Like, I wanted to rate this movie 5 stars because they are really good, but I wouldn't watch them on a yearly basis, you know? This sounds dumb, but like, it's not a movie I want to see a million times, even though it's very good. So, yeah. Interstellar was absolutely beautiful. I printed out the picture wrong. It's mirrored, so that kind of sucks. Yeah. And moving on to Tenet, we saw this in the movie theater. I gave it 4 stars. I wrote down mind-blowingly cool. I ran out of things to say about movies, but yeah, Tenet's really cool. I love Robert Pattinson. He's also an INFP. I just love these INFP guys because they remind me of me, and then I'd be like, I'd totally be like them if I were a man. Yeah. But yeah, Tenet is really good. So if you are able to go to the movies, I would definitely recommend it. Then we got I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I gave it 2 stars. And I wrote down, what am I watching? This movie had so much potential, but it didn't make any freaking sense. So if you've read the book and you watch the movie, maybe you like it, but if you have not read the book, like, a movie should always stand on its own, period. This movie does not. You can't physically, mentally understand anything about this movie without the context that you didn't get with the movie. So therefore it sucks. It had beautiful like scenery. The actress was really great. I don't know who she is, but she's amazing. I was watching it, was like, yeah, it's gonna be about suicide and it's going to be poetic and I'm going to love it. And then it was what it was. So no, I don't recommend this movie because it looks good, but it's not. I'm sorry for the person who wrote that book. Okay. Moving on, I watched Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time. I wrote down fun. Like, this movie is kind of for the people who say like, Cinderella is not feminist and all she wants is a man. But those people don't understand Cinderella, and they made this movie to show that, I don't know, they would fall in love without the shoe. I don't know. I did like it, but for me, the original Cinderella is so, like, it's one of my favorite. Well, it's my favorite childhood movie. I've seen it so many times. It just means a lot to me, and I don't think that people should victim blame Cinderella because she has been through a lot and she saved herself when she got the chance, and it has nothing to do with a man, but a man was helping. you know, but it might as well just be a girl who she befriended with, and then she went to live with that friend, you know, but she fell in love because law of attraction. She deserved it, you know. Okay, we're nearing the end now. So we have Enola Holmes. I gave it 3.5 stars. I didn't really like that movie, but I did feel like it was more of like a family type of film. So would definitely have loved this watching it as a kid. But I do really like it though. Yeah, I like it. And then we got The Devil All the Time. Gave 2 stars. I wrote down lacking everything, basically. So yeah, again, Robert Pattinson is in it. He played a perf. Yeah, that's not all that great. No, this movie was just basically. I'm pretty sure this movie was made by someone who hates the church, because everything is driven by religion, and everyone is very, very Christian, and being Christian makes them either really bad people or makes them really like weak or sad. It's just like, I am an atheist, but this was kind of ridiculous. So it's a Netflix movie. They used all the big actors. I always forget his name. I don't want to say wrong, but the Pennywise guy, I really like them too. But yeah, this movie was just pretty bad. So don't watch it. That was it for today. Please let me know if you'd like me to do more of these videos, maybe talking about all the TV shows I've watched, or an update about my movies. Will probably be in a long time from now, because this was over the course from January until now. So yeah, please let me know. Also let me know if you got some movie recommendations for me, because those are always welcome. And yeah, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe. If you want to see more of me, you can also follow me on Instagram. It's Mae Journals _, and I'd love to see you next time. Bye!